Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I am Hajar and this is my pretty mother-in-law.
Hello.
She is our model today, and in today's video I want to show you guys the do's and don'ts of applying makeup, since there are so many of you I know, for example my mother, who still doesn't know how to apply her makeup properly and what she shouldn't do to avoid specific mistakes, like how to stop her eye makeup from transferring down to her lid, or how to make her foundation not look so cakey on her face or fade away throughout the day. So if you're eager to know all of these, then make sure to stick with us until the end of this video. Thank you. On the right side, I'm going to apply the makeup correctly. On the left side, I'm going to do it the wrong way. So on the right side, we need to apply skincare, because if you don't, your base will fade away faster. It will just not look as smooth as it should be. Going to use the Holy Hydration Cream by e.l.f. Cosmetics. My mother-in-law has a dehydrated skin type. It's not very dry, but it needs hydration. Just note that any skin type you work on or you have, it just needs hydration. If it's a dehydrated one, it doesn't need to be a rich textured cream like with oils. Many skin types over 60s don't have lipids as well. That's why they should opt for more rich textured creams. And for the eyes, I'm going for this Holy Hydration Eye Cream, again from e.l.f. Cosmetics. Dab it all over the under eye part with the ring finger, gently. And you can also go around the eyes. Please close your eyes. I'm skipping the part on the left side on purpose. Next, we could go for a primer, and I'm thinking of doing so. I'm going to apply a primer called Perfector 4-in-1 by Maybelline New York. This could be used as a primer because it has a smoothing effect, but you can also use it as a makeup, like a lightweight makeup for every day really. I'll show you how it will look on the skin. It will mattify her face and make it look more smooth. It will refine the pores. I have made a product review on this product. You can watch it. I have the link down below in the description box if you're interested and to know all the details about this product. It feels light. Every time when I want to wear a no makeup look, I use this primer. Okay, as for the eye makeup, I'm going to keep it really light and soft for every day. Many of you guys, I assume, who are not familiar with makeup and just want to learn it, for the very beginners out there, it is a must to apply an eye primer if you deal with fallouts often, or with makeup transferring down to your lid. It's really a must to go for an eye primer, and I would suggest you to use a good quality one like this one by Urban Decay. It's called Eyeshadow Primer Potion in Original. This will help you to make your eyeshadows more pigmented and also last longer without creasing into the fine lines on your lid. Especially for those of you who are dealing with hooded eyes, because within aging we will all basically deal with hooded eyes, because the upper skin part, which is the excess skin, will sit on top of your mobile lid, the lid that is moving, and that will make you crease faster when it comes to eyeshadow or any eye makeup you apply, like eyeliner. It will just crease into your lines after a few hours. Going to apply a thin layer. Make sure it's a thin layer on the lid, and then I'm going to use my ring finger to spread it all over the lid and blend it into the skin. As you can see, it's basically a primer. It doesn't have any color. Some eyeshadow primers do have color. They would neutralize the part. You would need to neutralize this skin part before applying eyeshadow, because it does have veins, as you can see, and also discoloration. I'm going to use this one by L'Oreal Paris called True Match Concealer. I really recommend this one. I will also use it later on the under eye part because it's very lightweight and it has a nice color. It does neutralize very naturally, and it has skincare components, which is also great for mature skin in general, any skin type. And then just blend it with a damp beauty blender. I've heard or seen many times by the older generation that they use their sponges dry, but in order for the sponge to not suck the product in, it's better to dampen it before using it. So for the eye makeup, we want to go for an everyday eye makeup look, a soft light makeup look, and that is why we're using eyeshadow shades which look like these from Charlotte Tilbury, called Instant Pillow Talk eyeshadow palette. It has basically all the shades you would need for any occasion, but in general, to make the look more neutral and look more harmonizing and everyday friendly, I would suggest you to go for the lighter nude shades. So I'm going for this shade from the desk section. It doesn't have any name, but it's a peachy, it's a peachy nude shade. Please close your eyes. I'm going to warm the lid with this one. Going to apply it all over the lid. Okay, another thing you can do, I'm using a blending brush. You can use this really when you use light shades. When you use darker shades on your lid, it is more recommended to use an applicator brush. Another thing you can do when working on hooded eyes or mature eyelids, stretch the skin upwards. It will help you to go into the fine lines, into the fine wrinkles of your lid. You see, it's really easy when working with light shades. You don't need to worry about any hard edges or stuff. All I'm trying to do here is just to warm up the lid. Just go in sweeping motions. You really can't do anything wrong with this eyeshadow shade, with this light shade. You can go in circular motions when going into the crease fold. Just make sure the application is seamless and even. So let's show you guys finally how to do it the wrong way on the left side. So how you or my mother, let's take my mother as an example because my mother-in-law is good in makeup. She doesn't do these mistakes, but my mom personally does do these mistakes because I see it on her face and she tells me also how to prevent it. So let's say you would apply a concealer on this lid without any primer before. Let's say you would only work with your fingers on your face because that's what my mother does. Only when she does use powders, she uses brushes, but when she uses creams, she uses her hands. Now we would want to apply the eyeshadow. I will apply the same shade, only a lot and pigmented. Okay, that's how my mother would apply her eyeshadow because I've seen it on her face. See, these are harsh lines. What you would need to do now here, even if it's really pigmented, you could keep it that way. It's not bad, but yeah, we want it to look really natural. That's why we went really light on the other eye. You would need to use your blending brush, the fluffy one, which I used on this eye. Go in circular motions and blend the hard edges. Can you see the difference? This looks like very natural, it's seamless, it melts into the skin, and the other side is basically too harsh. It just looks like a lot of layers of makeup. Now on this eye, I want to open the eyes up. I'm going to go for a second step on the eyeshadow. So on this eye, I'm going to apply a highlighting shade like this one in the day section. I'm going to apply the highlighting shade around the tear duct. And the reason simply is it will open up the eyes and make it look more fresh, and almond eyes or small eyes in general will just look like they're more open and bright. Can also apply a little here if you want to, under the brow bone. It will lift it up Many people, including my mom, would use a kohl liner, which is totally fine. You can use kohl liner, but if you have the problem that it transfers down to your lid, it's better to go for an eyeshadow eyeliner style instead of a kohl liner, creamy kohl liner, or a fluid dip-in eyeliner. Yeah, because those are like more probable to crease into your folds or to transfer down to your lid. And that is why on this eye we're going for an eyeshadow colored brown. The reason why I'm going for brown on this eye I'm going for a black kohl liner like you usually would do. I think I'm going to start with this eye because you should see how it is done wrong first. I think this is the better order. So this is how it is done wrong. You apply your kohl liner or your liquid eyeliner all over the lid with your eyes closed, and this is how it will look. I'll show you guys when she opens her eyes. And then another wrong thing I've seen many do is go into the waterline with a black. It might doesn't look bad on some eyes when it's colored eyes, for example, or big eyes, you know, because that will make it look balanced out and make the colored eyes pop out. However, on everyday makeup, it will look a little distorting. It will make the eyes closed, more smaller. Now we're going for the eyeshadow version. When going for an eyeshadow eyeliner, it is important to use an eyeliner brush. Okay, and we're going for this shade as our eyeliner. It's not totally black. It's a brownish, dark brownish eyeshadow shade from the Tarte Lit in Bloom palette. Close your eyes, please. Yes. And then we're going to start applying the eyeshadow on her upper lash line. The good thing is you can apply this eyeshadow and then smudge it a little. It will make the look overall a little more natural. When you have hooded eyes, it's best to keep the line narrow and thin and not too thick. I'm not going for a wing because as I said, I want to keep it beginner friendly and everyday friendly. So for this eye, I'm going into the waterline using our creamy inner eye brightening pen by Sense. As you can see, it will open up the eyes and make it look more roundish and awake and bright. And we're going to curl the lashes on this eye because my model has short flat lashes, and with the lash curler we will lift it naturally just a few seconds and then you can release it. It's like more curled now. And when you apply mascara now, it's going to be much easier and you don't need a lot of product. So for the left-sided eye, we're going for not waterproof eye makeup, which might be a problem for some of you guys who have the problem that the mascara transfers down. And that is what you should avoid, especially when it's summer season and where you sweat a lot or where you have a lot of physical activity going on, like when you're on a party or when you're working outside. It's maybe better to go for the waterproof mascara. Another important step is when you apply layers of mascara, it shouldn't be more than 2 or 3. And when you apply layers, make sure to let the first layer dry for a few seconds, like 20-30 seconds, and then go into your tube again and get some product and then go over with it for another layer. Because when you do it while it's wet, like I'm doing, like this, you might deal with spider lashes, thick spider clumpy lashes, which will throughout the day transfer down to your lid because they're so heavy or because you're wearing glasses. You might want to avoid applying mascara on the lower lashes like I'm doing right now, because if you're really dealing with product transferring down to your lid, it's for sure because of this step. you should just avoid it, or when you do apply it, apply a waterproof mascara and make sure it is thinly applied and not thick. So I'm going for a lash primer first, called Lash Paradise Primer by L'Oreal. If you want to have more volume on your lashes and your lashes are naturally thin and you don't want to go in for a lot of mascara layers because of the various reasons I just talked about previously, so you might want to use a brush like this and dip it into the translucent powder and go onto your lashes like so. Just apply it like so on the lashes. Don't overdo it. And because we have a lash primer, we will go for a lash primer. It's important to go in zigzag motion because that will help you to lift the lashes. Don't go too heavy on the primer. We're going for the mascara. I'm going to use the L'Oreal Lash Paradise Waterproof Mascara in black. Because I've used the lash primer, it's really enough to go for one layer of mascara. If your lashes stick together because of the mascara or because they just do, then use a lash comb like this one and you can separate them. What you can also do to make the look more enhanced is to use lashes, false lashes. I'm going to use really trimmed and natural ones like this one by Eyeliner London is the brand. They are trimmed. They are not full in size, but that's good because when you apply trimmed lashes, you are probably less likely to deal with lashes that peel off during the day or throughout the day, and they are much lighter when you wear them. And that's why I suggest you to trim them or just to buy like ready ones which are trimmed already. Now I have prepared the false lashes. I've applied a thin layer of glue on it and I will leave it on for like a few seconds so it gets tacky. It's important to let your glue on the lash band to get tacky before applying it. It shouldn't feel wet when you apply it on your eye, otherwise it will give you troubles. It will not stick well on the eyes, and that is why I recommend you to really let it dry a little bit on the band. When you apply it, make sure it's with a tweezer and make sure it's not applied on the outer edge where your natural lash line stops, basically where it stops. Here her natural lash line would stop, and that's where the end point of our false lashes should be. We press it slightly with our fingers so it sticks well onto the skin, and we can now use our lash curler to press them gently together. Don't press too hard. That way your natural and your false lashes will blend in better. So I'm going to really press gently. Don't go too hard, otherwise it will look unnatural. It should be lifted to the point where you can't see them anymore, because in some cases when you apply false lashes you might see them with your eyes, and that's when they're too low. That's why you have to lift them. And another thing, when you lift your eyelashes you might deal with gaps that you can see from the upper waterline. Yeah, a way to like close them is using a kohl liner, like so. That's it. Can you see? It already starts to fall out. Here we have the eyeshadow fallouts because our eyeshadows are pigmented and we were applying our eyeliner with eyeshadow, but I'm going to remove it. Here we're dealing with product that is transferring down to the lid, as you can see, and it's not been even an hour that the product is on the eyes. So as you can see, the more heavier the eye gets and the more product you have on it, the more probable for the products to transfer down and give you the unwanted panda eye look. Now I'm going to remove the fallouts. On this eye as well as on this. Now we want to apply our color correcting cream. I'm going to use the NYX color correcting concealer palette. I'm going for this dark peachy shade because that would suit her skin type. It will make it more fresh, and it will neutralize the darkness under the eyes. Okay, on this side we want to go for the correct foundation type for her skin type. So I'm going for this foundation, which is called Dream Radiant Liquid. It's a hydrating foundation with hyaluronic acid and collagen in the shade 48 Sun Beige. She has a tan skin right now because we're having summer, and that's why this shade would fit her face, and it would also give her a nice freshly tanned look. It might be a little bit darker than her current skin tone, but that's fine because that's what we have planned to make it look more tanned and fresh. And now on the other side we're going for a wrong shade, like a lighter shade like this one. It might be the right undertone, but it is definitely not the right depth of color, and it is a matte shade. Since she's currently not dealing with let's say oily face or shiny face, this might look a little bit too much, and since it's not for the day, it's not a day makeup, it's really a high coverage foundation, I would recommend you, if you go for this one, use it for an occasional look. Okay, so this one I'm going to pump, like one pump is enough I think for now. I'm going to use my hands to apply this, and I'm going to use the wrong motion, like circular motion, because I've seen many do this, applying their makeup in circular motion like they would apply their cream, you know. And another thing many of you guys do is applying foundation as your concealer. It's okay if it would fade away the under eye discoloration, but in many cases it doesn't. It just doesn't look nice, you know. And you'll see that here maybe too. It looks a little funny. It looks lighter at the beginning, but it's going to oxidize and look a little darker. But still, if it would be the wrong foundation, let's say it has the wrong undertone and the wrong depth of shade, then it will make you look gray and dull. Many would really go for the light foundation. They would say, hey, this was my perfect match in the winter, but now since they get tanned or a little darker because of the season, yeah, they don't change their foundation, they just go for the lighter one, and they kind of even it out with a bronzer, making it look a little more suitable to their skin tone. It's possible, but I think you shouldn't do that, because in person it looks much worse than on camera. You know, if you choose the wrong shade, you can basically see it. It wouldn't match the neck or the ears. So for this side, I'm using the Dream Liquid Hydrating Foundation by Maybelline. And I'm going to use a brush, a foundation brush. This foundation, because it's her perfect fit, it will blend in seamlessly with her face, and it will give us a beautiful tanned look. And in general, it just sits perfectly. It doesn't look cakey. It's very lightweight. Okay, so for this part, I'm going to use concealer. I'm going to use the concealer I showed you guys before, the True Match Concealer by L'Oréal Paris in the shade 325 N Natural Beige. Less is more. I would apply maybe a little bit to highlight also here on the chin, and here on the nose, and under the cheekbone. Going to use under the cheekbone a little bit, here maybe on the forehead, and that's it. Going to blend it with a multitasking buffer brush by the brand Alpha Makeup. Link is down in the description box. If you're interested, it belongs to a 12-piece beginner-friendly, vegan and cruelty-free makeup brush set. Now I'm going to use a damp beauty blender from previously and blend in the concealer. I really love this concealer. It is a dupe to the Touche Eclat by Yves Saint Laurent concealer. It's very lightweight and it's nourishing and blends in perfectly. Now we're going to use a translucent powder. I'm going to use this one by Laura Mercier. Going to use it right away after I apply or blend my concealer. The reason simply is that way you prevent your cream product from creasing into the fine lines. We have thinner skin here under the eyes, and that is why it's more probable for this part to crease in faster. I'm going to apply, as you see, a thin layer. It just mattifies it. I wouldn't suggest you to go over it with powder because it would be too much product, too much pigments. It will look cakey throughout the day. I'm going to mattify all the parts where I think it looks nice if they're mattified. So like a little bit here on the center and on the nose, chin. Now I'm going to show you how many would basically contour this part of the face. I'm going to use a regular bronzer. This one is by Kiko Milano. So they would basically apply it here also, just to make it look like a little more bronzed. Here, maybe here a bit. See, it's possible, but in real life it doesn't look good. It doesn't look bad now. It's like more warmer than before. But in real life, it doesn't look that good. I will show you a close-up later on. Going for a powder blush on this side, and I'm going to only focus on the apples of the cheek. On this part, I'm going for a creamy blush. This one by Charlotte Tilbury called Matte Beauty Blush Wand in the shade Pillow Talk. Okay, so here's the difference. When you apply blush and you have mature skin, it's better to apply it like here, one dot on the apples of the cheek and maybe a few dots here on top of the cheekbone, because that will give you a lifted look. Going to dab it with my fingers. You can also use a damp beauty blender, but I think that's enough. Again, it's really easy if you smile and do it, because that way you can determine the apples of your cheek better. Okay, that was it for the blush. Now I'm going for a highlighter. Because I've used all hydrating products, cream products, because I think they blend in well with a skin type that is dehydrated. If you are dealing with an oily skin, then maybe it's okay for you if you go for powders for all the products you apply on your base makeup. So I'm going to continue with the creamy highlighter stick by Natasha Denona called Face Glow Cream Shimmer in the shade 02. It has a golden warm shimmer which will match her tan skin well. I'm not going to use a lot, just a bit with the fingers on top of her cheekbones. I'm going to apply a little bit on the tip of the nose, a bit on the nose bridge. On this part I would skip the highlighter because that's what my mother would do also. She doesn't know how to work with highlighters. Going to fill in the eyebrow by using the Goof Proof Brow Pencil by Benefit Cosmetics in the shade 3. So I'm going into the gaps by applying hair-like strokes just to create a shadow beneath the hair to make it look fuller. This part I'm going to fix the hair because that way your brow hairs will not move around throughout the day, and that's a good thing. I highly recommend this got2b brow gel or glue. It's called glue. Okay, so this part I'm going for a dark brown brow pencil, which is obviously not her shade, but that's how beginners would go maybe for it, do the mistake. And what they also are going to do is probably not to blend the product. Going to look a little bit funny and distorting. Maybe it wouldn't look that distorting if you would wear this look on both sides, you know. You wouldn't see like how wrong it actually is when you would wear the look on both sides. Okay, so what we would here do is basically comb the brows, but we wouldn't necessarily blend the product. For the lipstick, I'm going for a limited edition lipstick by Kiko Milano. I think this shade would, for example, match her eye makeup, but since it's a dark shade, it will basically make her lips look smaller. Please note that if you apply this lipstick shade on thinner lips, it will make it seriously look more narrow, which is not a problem if you like it, you know. Just telling you how to enhance your features better with makeup. So on this lip, we're going for a lip liner. So I'm going for a lip pencil by Kiko Milano in the shade 532. Once the lips are contoured, I'm going over them with a gloss by Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb in the shade Fenty Glow. It's a nude brownish lip gloss. On this part, I'm going to use a setting spray, and on the other part, I'm not going to use any product. I'm going to use the NYX Dewy Finish setting spray. This is our end result. As you can see, this side is just more harmonious. It looks much more seamless. The products blend in well with her skin and melt in better with her skin, because as you can see, we have blended the eye makeup, for example, better. We didn't use a lot of product. We layered better than on this part, and we chose like better colors that match her features, her skin tone, and so on. Now on this side, as you can see, everything is like more edgy, more distorting, and the shades just don't go with each other, and the eyes appear, for example, much more smaller, and the foundation makes her skin look like dull and gray because it's not the right shade, and so on. Thank you for joining us up until now. I hope you could learn a few helpful tips and tricks, and that you would also use them. Maybe practice along with this video so you can memorize all the steps better. And yeah, let me know in the comment section whether this was helpful to you, or whether you did your makeup the left-sided way. I would like to know how you have done your makeup before this, so let me know in the comment section. Also let me know whether you want more videos like these, and if you have enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. That will help me a lot, and I upload every weekend. Thank you. And have a nice day. Bye bye.
Bye.